Hello, my name is Michael Palermo. In this video, you will learn how to create a Silverlight application for the purpose of testing Extensible Application Markup Language, or simply known as XAML. And we'll do this by getting started in Visual Studio 2005. I'm going to create a new project. Because I have downloaded the Microsoft SDK for Silverlight 1.0, I do have the option of choosing a Silverlight JavaScript application as my project template. So I'll do that, name the project XAML Tester, and click OK. My Solution Explorer now contains the starting files within this project template type. I will close the current documents. We have a default HTML file with a corresponding JavaScript file. Likewise, we have our initial scene.xaml file. When I run this application as is, the browser will reveal the contents of that scene.xaml or XAML file, and it's functional. I can click this and receive my JavaScript alert. I'm going to close this browser window now, and we need to make a change to the default HTML file if I would like to add support for this page to allow me to provide my own XAML at runtime or while I'm in the browser and see the effects of it. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a div, style the div so that it's going to precede my Silverlight control. So I'll float it to the left. I'll also add some padding to the right, 20 pixels. And within this div, I want to add an input which will be of type button. We'll give it an ID of button display results, a value of display results, and we're going to associate an event, the onClick event, and we'll call it button execute. This is a JavaScript function that we'll need to write in just a moment. Add a break to this as well. And I also want to add a text area. This is where I'm going to put the XAML content, so we'll call this XAML text. And I'll give it 50 columns and rows of 20. And that's all we need to do with our text area. Below here, in our div that was already there, I'm going to enter into our script, and we need to add that function here that will be called when the button is clicked. I'm going to call that function button execute. Create the block for the function, and thinking this through, I'm going to need to access the Silverlight plugin. So I can do that by creating a variable. I'll call it plugin, and I'll have it equal a document get element by ID. And well, how do I know what the Silverlight plugin is called? I can get that by going over to my default.html.js file, and right here on line 7, that's the name I need for this plugin, so I'll Control-C or copy that, return to the HTML where I'm in the script, and Control-V or paste that name into the document.getElementById method. And next, I need to access the XAML from the text area. You do that by creating another variable called XAML-Fragment. I'm going to have that equal also another call to document.getElementById. And we know that name from up above. It is called XAML text. That's from line 15. And I need its value. Now, the next challenge I have, and this is really the heart of this video, and that is we need to create a Silverlight object from the XAML. We could do this by creating another variable. I'll call it Silverlight object. And that's going to equal, I'm going to use our instance of our plugin, go to the content property, and call create from XAML, and pass in the object created on line 28, XAML fragment. Now, creating that object is not enough. I need to add it to the current Silverlight control, and I could do this by, well, first I'd like to clear all the children of the root canvas object. And I could do that by going to the plugin instance, to the content property, to the root, then children, then clear. And now I can add the Silverlight object to the root canvas object. Plugin.content.root.children.add, and I'm going to add the object that we received on line 31, which is Silverlight object. Now we're ready to test. I'll save my changes and run this application. We can see our input button here. This is our text area, just waiting for me to enter some XAML content. You'll notice that the default XAML is still over here and still functional. Let's experiment. I'm going to add a text block with a text property that equals muhahahaha. Close that XAML. It's well-formed XML. I click Display Results. I see my results over here. Let's play with this a little bit. I can access the canvas, setting its top to 20, and the canvas left to 20. And when I click Display Results, my text changes position. Great. Well, I want to do something different. I want to demonstrate how we can see a tree of XAML objects by creating a canvas, opening tag here, a closing tag here, and inside here I'm going to switch back over to Visual Studio 2005. In my toolbox I happen to have a XAML rectangle saved or stored, just raw XAML content really. I'm going to drag that over onto this text area, and now display my results. I now have two Silverlight objects within this canvas object being displayed dynamically on the page. I can affect the colors, change that yellow to white and the red to black. When I click Display Results, instant gratification. And this is a way that you can start testing your XAML content within the Silverlight control dynamically within the web browser.